Hey everyone, want to ace your next English job interview? We're diving into two awesome guides that are packed with tips and tricks.
Yeah, they're really practical, and
Oh, cool.
it's not just about memorizing answers.
Yeah.
It's more about understanding what interviewers are really looking for.
Okay. I like that. So, like, we're getting into their heads.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like a strategy game.
Yeah.
You're presenting yourself in a way that resonates with them.
Got it. Strategy. Okay, so let's jump right in with those classic questions. Tell me about yourself. Everyone gets asked this one. One guide had this sample answer. I have over 5 years of experience in project management, specializing in guiding teams to success and meeting project deadlines. My background is in marketing, which has helped me develop strong communication skills and a strategic mindset.
See, that's a good example because it's hitting those key points that interviewers want to know. It's concise. They're busy people, right?
Right, to the point.
Exactly. Plus, it highlights the relevant experience.
Mm.
It's focusing on those skills you can use in different roles.
Transferable skill.
Yeah. And it shows a strategic mindset, too. Guiding teams to success. That implies leadership qualities.
Makes sense. So it's not just listing off your resume, it's more about framing it to show what you bring to the table.
Right. Like you're showcasing your value.
Hmm.
And that leads us to, what are your strengths? One source suggests something like this: I'm very goal-oriented and proactive, which helps me anticipate issues before they arise. I also work well with different teams and am able to adapt quickly to changing priorities. But it can sound a little stiff just listing things off.
A bit robotic.
Yeah. So how do we make it more engaging?
Instead of just saying you're a problem solver, maybe give a quick story, a real example of how you solved a problem at work.
That's it. Stories make it believable, and people remember them. They see how you think.
So stories are key. Okay, now for the tough one. What are your weaknesses? One guide gives this answer. I sometimes focus too much on details. However, I've learned to prioritize the bigger picture by setting clear deadlines and balancing detail with productivity. Is that just a nice way of dodging the question?
Not at all. It's being self-aware and shows you're willing to grow. You admit a flaw, but you're working on it.
Right. It's like saying, yeah, I've got this thing, but I'm improving. I like that. Both sources talked about aligning your goals with the company when answering, why do you want to work here? One suggests, I admire your company's commitment to innovation and customer satisfaction. I'd love to contribute my skills to help achieve these goals and grow with the team. But isn't that a bit like flattery?
It can be if it's not genuine. But this answer ties your goals to the company's mission. You've done your research. You're not just looking for any job.
You're looking for the right fit.
Yeah, where your values match. And that takes us to the tricky question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
That one always feels like a trap.
Right. Like you don't want to seem too ambitious or like that you're using this as a stepping stone.
Yeah.
One source recommends, in 5 years, I hope to have developed my skills in this role and taken on additional responsibilities. My goal is to grow within this company and contribute as much as I can. It emphasizes growth within the company.
Showing you're in it for the long haul.
Exactly. Committed.
Yeah.
So we've covered content and strategy. Now, both sources talk about powerful vocabulary, like using words like goal-oriented, problem solver, team player. Is it all about using fancy words?
Yeah. Is that the secret?
It's more about choosing the right words to describe your skills. Think of it like painting a picture.
Okay.
You wouldn't use the same colors for every painting. The words should fit the job.
So it's about being precise and clear, not just trying to sound smart. What about pronunciation? I know people worry about their accent.
Yeah, one guide even suggests recording yourself to hear how you sound.
Ooh, that's scary.
It can be, but it helps build confidence. Hearing how you sound in English is important. Even if your grammar's perfect, if you're hard to understand, it's a problem. Think of it like practicing an instrument.
The more you play, the better you sound.
Right. Now, one source brought up something interesting, the cultural side of English interviews.
What does that even mean?
Well, communication styles are different in different cultures,
Right.
like eye contact. In some cultures, it's respect. In others, it's aggressive.
Wow, I hadn't thought about that.
So it's about understanding these differences and adapting. It shows you're sensitive and willing to learn, which is valuable these days.
Okay, cultural awareness is key. We've covered a lot, crafting answers, choosing the right words, even cultural differences. But what about staying calm during the interview itself? Any advice?
That's a great question, and one that we're going to dive into even more after the break. We'll explore ways to handle those pre-interview jitters, use breathing exercises, and even master the art of pausing strategically.
Okay, can't wait. This is like next level communication stuff.
It is. It's about taking your skills to the next level.
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we're back and ready to tackle the actual interview. We've prepped our answers, we know about cultural stuff. But how do you stay calm when you're in the hot seat?
Well, one source had this tip breathing exercises. Just taking a few deep breaths before you go in can make a big difference.
Yeah, like calming your nerves.
Exactly. It slows your heart rate, clears your head, helps you feel more grounded.
Okay, that's a good one. But what about during the interview? When you get a tough question or you blank out?
It happens to everyone. But don't panic. It's okay to pause. Take a breath before answering.
Really?
Yeah, it shows you're thinking, not flustered. A
Mhm.
pause can actually make you sound more confident.
Like you're in control.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, to avoid those ums and likes practice is key. One guide suggested recording yourself answering questions.
Oh gosh, that sounds painful.
It can be, but listening back helps you catch those filler words. Once you're aware of them, you can replace them with a pause.
So it's like turning ums into strategic silence. Clever. What about those behavioral questions? Like, tell me about a time you... Those are hard to answer concisely.
Both sources recommended the STAR method situation task action result.
I've heard of that. But how do you actually use it?
Okay, imagine they ask, tell me about a time you faced a challenge at work. First, you describe the situation, the context, then the task you had, next, the actions you took, and finally, the results.
So it's like a story with a beginning, middle, and end. Way more interesting than just listing facts.
Right. And speaking of stories, one source talked about using storytelling in interviews, weaving your skills into narratives.
Ooh, I love that. But how do you tell a story in an interview? Sounds tricky.
Think of it like bringing your resume to life. Instead of just saying, I'm motivated, tell a quick story about a time you went above and beyond.
Showing, not telling.
Exactly. Just keep it concise and relevant to the question. Choose stories that highlight the skills they're looking for.
So it's like strategic storytelling. You're not just entertaining them, you're proving your point.
Exactly. A good story can make you memorable. Now, besides talking, one source mentioned nonverbal cues. Things like body language.
Oh yeah, I fidget when I'm nervous.
We all do. But things like eye contact, posture, hand gestures, they all matter.
So like sitting up straight, looking at them, that kind of thing.
Yep, it shows confidence and engagement. Slouching or fidgeting can send the wrong message.
So it's another way to communicate.
It's like adding that extra polish, creating a whole package. Okay, we talked about breathing, pausing, the STAR method, storytelling, even body language. Anything else we should do to prep?
Both sources said research the company and the role. Why is that so important?
It shows you're genuinely interested. When you understand their mission values, what they're doing, it means you care about this specific job.
It's like saying, I've done my homework and I'm excited about this, not just I need any job.
Exactly. You can tailor your answers to their needs. It shows you're thinking bigger picture.
Wow. This is all great, but it's a lot to take in. How do you stay focused?
Good point. Prioritize. Both sources highlighted key areas: preparation clarity, confidence, cultural awareness. Start with the basics, like the STAR method and practicing answers. Then add in the advanced stuff, like storytelling.
Okay, breaking it down into steps. Building a strong foundation.
That's it. It's a journey, not a sprint mastering. This takes time. But with each step, you become more confident. Now, before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. How can you apply these skills not just to interviews, but to other parts of your life where communication is key? We'll explore that more in the final part.
All right, we're back, and you left us hanging with that question. How can we use these communication skills in other areas of life? It seems like this goes way beyond just interviews.
Right. It's not just about getting the job. It's about becoming a better communicator overall.
Okay, so like how? Give us some examples.
Well, think about those practice exercises. Speaking out loud, recording yourself. That can help build confidence in any situation, not just job interviews.
Yeah, I can see that. And what about the STAR method? Is that useful outside of interviews too?
Definitely. It's a great way to organize your thoughts anytime you need to explain something clearly, like giving a presentation at work or telling a story that keeps people engaged.
Oh, wow. I never thought of it that way. And that whole thing about body language. It's like a secret weapon.
It really is. Projecting confidence through your body language can change how people see you. Standing tall, making eye contact, those things make a difference.
So it's not just what you say, but how you present yourself.
Exactly. It all works together. And the more you practice these skills in one area, the better you get in all areas.
Like a ripple effect.
Yeah.
Cool. Both sources really emphasize practice. Makes sense. The more you do something, the better you become right.
Absolutely. And the great thing about communication skills is you can practice them anywhere, anytime. Talk to a stranger, give a Toastmast. And practice your elevator pitch while you walk the dog.
Okay, so get out there and talk. But what about those of us who get nervous speaking English, especially in formal settings? How do you deal with that?
It's normal to feel nervous,
Mm,
but remember those breathing exercises. Those can help. And don't be afraid to pause before speaking. Take a moment to collect your thoughts. It's better than rushing and not making sense.
right, slow down. What about making mistakes? That's my biggest fear.
Everyone makes mistakes. It's part of learning. Don't let that fear stop you from practicing. Just keep going and you'll improve.
So it's about progress, not perfection.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, so we've covered a lot. We talked about the STAR method, storytelling, body language. What are some key takeaways?
Well, I think the biggest thing is to remember that the interviewer wants you to succeed. They're on your side. They're looking for someone who can communicate well and be a valuable part of the team.
That's good to remember. So relax, be yourself, and let your skills shine. Easier said than done, though, right?
Of course, it takes effort. But you've got this. You've now got a whole toolbox of strategies to help you rock that interview. And remember, these skills are for life, not just for work.
So true. We learned about the STAR method, storytelling, body language, and
Mhm.
so much more. It's all about becoming a more confident communicator.
Exactly. So go out there, practice, and make a lasting impression. This is just the beginning. Keep learning, keep growing, and you'll keep improving.
That's a great note to end on. So there you have it, folks. Our deep dive into English job interviews. We hope you learned some valuable tips and feel more prepared than ever.
Remember, you have the power to become a brilliant communicator. Believe in yourself and go ace that interview.
That's it for this episode of The Deep Dive. Until next time, keep practicing, keep learning, and keep shining.